we are back and we have the replay. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, starting us off in the top right hand corner, we have the yellow Protoss player fighting for Net Wars. It's Yeti. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the red, fighting for ReV. It's CRVT. Okay, so now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty bits of PvP. Are they both going to go for exactly the same build? We've got one gateway here, a slightly later gateway here, but both players scouting at exactly the same time. Looks like CRVT went for a probe after his gateway, whereas Yeti went for one first. Now, I said this was yellow, but it looks more like that off green. Yeah, this is the like yellowy green. Olive green maybe? No, olives aren't this bright. I can't remember. That weird green. It's definitely not yellow though. Kinda looks like yellow if you've got a bad monitor, but one of the things I treated myself to with a couple of my paychecks I'd saved up was I got an IPS monitor. I mean, it's still 144 Hz, so it's not the best IPS, but it's still better than most normal 144 Hz monitors. Like, it's night and day when I compare the colors of my old monitor, which I use as my second monitor, and my newer one, but I bought that a while ago. We've got a core coming in for Yeti. CRVT, however, is going for 2 gateways first. Now, this does mean it makes things a little bit more interesting in PvP. CRVT is kind of forced to try and do a little bit of damage. Now, 2 gate versus 1 can actually outright win the game if the other player cannot micro his Dragoon. If the player has good Dragoon micro, you should be able to hold it on, or hold on to it without taking too much damage. But obviously the Zealots will get into a mineral line, you have to deal with it somehow. And it does give the at least CRVT here a little bit of a chance to do a little bit of damage. Now it looks like Yeti gonna get his probe out, not too worried about that. We've got a single Zealot on top of the ramp here that is not gonna help him hold on against this. We do have a wall being put up though by Yeti to help defend against this. Now here comes the Dragoon, does need to make sure to micro this. It's very hard to keep this Dragoon alive, especially with a wrist injury like poor Yeti has right now. But as you can see, we've got 2 Zealots coming into the mineral line. The wall actually really helping here, giving the probes a chance to hold on. Dragoon helping out, great micro there by Yeti. Great probe micro as well to be able to take down that Zealot. The Dragoon is 1 hit away from death though, so does need to be careful. Does want to make sure he doesn't take too much more damage on that, but he holds that without really taking too much damage. Did lose a couple of probes, did lose his Zealot and almost lost his Dragoon, but that was definitely worth it there for Yeti to be able to hold on. He's now got a supply advantage. His probe count is a little bit lower, but now CRVT is going to go into the Dragoon battle a little bit behind. He's always going to be at least 1 Dragoon behind, obviously with the low health of one of them it shouldn't be too bad, but looks like in that crashing we lost about 20 viewers already. I don't know if people just didn't want to see a PvP or they just like couldn't be bothered to stay and watch me crash, but it's not a big deal. It's all good. Now Yeti taking a forward position with his Dragoons because he wants to get ready to go for an expansion back at home. CRVT is not really planning on doing too much right now. No tech is coming up, no expansion of his own, but is taking this high ground. Nexus already on the way here for Yeti, and this is going to be how he's really going to find himself getting ahead here. Because even though you fall behind in probes, you get your Nexus a lot sooner, and all of a sudden you just have an insane number of probes coming out. And it looks like the TL thing is bugged. Maybe not. Okay, it looks like CRVT are going to be heading out onto the map. We've got Yeti on the high ground, but this is a good number of Dragoons here by CRVT. Not going for the Nexus, really helping him out. The target firing by CRVT, very, very strong. Yeti definitely not going to get the best end of the stick here. Does need to retreat and wait for those additional reinforcements to come in. But now Yeti is going to be the one who's down a Dragoon and losing a lot of health on the other one. Definitely going to cause a lot of problems here. Looks like CRVT going to continue to reinforce this. The probe did scout the fact there is a Nexus, or there will be a Nexus. He sees the gateway count, which is super important. Now Yeti has given up his position over his ramp. This is not a good position for Yeti to be in. It's 4 versus 5. His Nexus is taking damage. And yeah, custom use, CRVT beat Perfume. But here we go, looks like we're going to have 6 versus 5. The Dragoons from the low ground do manage to get up. Great target firing by Yeti so far. CRVT unable. Oh, he gets some good target firing as well, but it looks like this is going to be a better engagement for Yeti. CRVT going to pull back. The Dragoon count is still only a single difference. And that's pretty insane. The probe scouts the Nexus as well, so he knows there's no follow-up coming in here. But he's still going to be looking to be okay. The probe going to come back in, scout the 4th gateway coming up, scout the fact there's an observatory. There's 4 gateways for Yeti as well. No tech though from Yeti, so if CRVT had been going for DTs at this point, that is going to be rough. Very, very rough. But luckily for us, and luckily for Yeti, he did get a scout off, and he knows exactly what's coming, so he's in no rush to get his robo. He will get it now, but he doesn't dangerously need a forge or observers or anything like that. Okay, so the first observer is coming out here. By the time it gets into the main of Yeti, the observatory should be on the way. So it's not going to be able to stay there for too long. It's not really going to see too much. It knows the Dragoon positioning of Yeti, so that's one thing. I mean, he's actually being quite aggressive here with this shot, with this observer positioning, because realistically, you should always expect your Protoss opponent to have their own observers on the way. And losing your first observer is very annoying in PvP. You want to be using your robo to be building reavers or shuttles or something else. But this observer positioning is going to allow him to move up around on the left-hand side here to try and come in at a different angle. Let's have a look at this engagement at its full glory. Looks like Yeti going to pull back just a little bit. Looks like the numbers are in favor of Yeti at the moment. The target firing definitely been in favor of Yeti here. But CRVT still continuing to push forward. Looks like Yeti has held the top of his ramp. And CRVT is going to fall back with a supply deficit. But still incredibly close. That was a very audible, loud sigh. I'm just, I just suddenly thought about how weird this week has been, so my bad. I'm quite tired, so... Yeah, it's really weird. I haven't left my house properly in like 3.5 months. And then on Saturday, I went to the vets, I came home, I had to go to Tesco, I came home. Then I had to go to the hospital, and then I came home. And it's just like, of all the places I could have avoided going, the hospital is probably the worst, given the COVID situation right now. But hopefully, I'm okay. But I've been taking antibiotics, and I'm really bad with tablets. Like, I just cannot swallow tablets. Like, I tried it again the other day because I've been reading a load of tips on how you're supposed to be able to do it. Because it is all mental, right? It's a mental problem. Like, tablets are smaller than food you swallow, but you can swallow food fine. But, oh, there we go, the observer going down. But basically, I'm having to crush the tablets up because it's the only way I can take them. I drank 3 full mugs of water, and the tablet was still swishing around in my mouth. And I'm like, okay, I must be doing something wrong here. Now a hidden third base up here in the top left-hand corner. Buying Yeti going to be in a very good position. Yeti also being quite aggressive with his observer. Really going into a dangerous position. But the observer coming in from CRVT, going to scout the 6 gateways, going to most importantly see the Templar Archives here, because I don't believe... Oh, we do have a Templar Archives for both players, so we're going to go into quite a long PvP here. Storm coming in for at least CRVT. Yeti definitely needs to get that soon if he's not already researched it. I think he got his Templar Archives a little bit sooner, so I imagine he's probably got it in the pipeline. He has been building... Oh, he's building Archons, so maybe he skipped Storm for the time being. Looks like we did have a little bit of an engagement in the middle of the map. Let's actually keep an eye on that again. Looks like not too much is happening right now with these engagements. Oh, I had a tetanus injection as well, but I'll go into that in a second. But looks like we are going to have red. CRVT pushing forward on top of Yeti. Can he break this ramp? He has the Archon advantage. They soak up a lot of damage, but both of them going down very, very quickly. The lack of Archons from Yeti really starting to hurt with these Zealots. Zealots do so much damage to Dragoons. But looks like Yeti is going to be able to hold on with the use of the high ground. And once again, an incredibly close engagement. The supply advantage, only 5 in favor of aggressive units here from Yeti. Yeti actually ahead. Wait, is there a DT in the... Oh my goodness, a DT. 10 kills on the probes. This is getting out of control here. Yeti still moving forward. 10 kills on that probe, of course. We'll have to keep a look at the probe counter in the bottom left, but it looks like Yeti's broken his way through. DT's being used for damage as well. There's a cannon coming up in the main, but it's not going to be enough. CRVT holding on to his very last. There's no observer to deal with the units, though. The cannon's gone down. Let's keep an eye on this DT counter. But it looks like Yeti has overpowered CRVT here. The third base of Yeti did go down, but I don't see CRVT recovering from this. He's going to have to fight up onto the high ground. His Nexus is going to go down. The DT is still killing probes. GG. Yeah, CRVT taps out and Yeti takes game number 1. Okay, so to go into the tetanus injection thing, I also don't like needles very much, but to be honest, I barely ever have to deal with needles, so I was like, as long as I don't look at it, I'm fine. So I just looked away. He did the tetanus injection, and then because I have to be unlucky, my finger, so this is the finger that she bit accidentally, it was right on the joint as well, which really hurt. Like, it's my fault because she basically, Lottie had a stroke on Saturday, and she really couldn't kind of control what she was doing. She couldn't really walk. She kept trying to flip herself away places. But basically, she was biting a lot of stuff. I put my finger in the wrong place and she bit it. So my finger was killing me because it was inflaming, and that's why I had to go to the hospital to get antibiotics just in case it was an infection. And then because the tetanus injection has to go in the same arm, this part of my arm for the last 3 days was absolutely killing me. On Saturday and Sunday, I could not lift my arm above my head. It was horrible. It was really, really horrible. And if you want to know where the cushion has gone from behind me, basically, yeah, the night before when she had the stroke, she unfortunately had an accident on the sofa. So I've been trying to get the smell out of that. So all in all, I've had a really shitty week. It's been really, really shit. Basically, I lost I lost my best friend. She was with me for nearly 19 years, so that's what it's like. It's family. You lose family and it hurts, but I'll get there eventually. Maybe in October time or something like that. I'll look at getting another cat, but it's fine. We'll get there. It's all part of life. So yeah, my cat died on the weekend in Videntia. Yeah, 2020 has been a really shit year. It's just been a really, really shitty year, all in all. Although I must admit, I did get a bit of good news from work. It looks like on the longer term, I'm going to be working from home. So I don't think I'm going to be worried about going into work again. Like, at least going into the office. There may be a possibility that it's basically, this is the after COVID story. So like, after everyone's vaccinated and whatnot, which could be this year, it could be next year, it could be years away, no one knows, but basically once everyone's vaccinated, it looks like they're going to keep people working from home for the most part. Maybe we may have to go in 1 day a week, but they even doubt that. That's really good for me, because since I've been working from home, my mental state has been like 100 times better, so that's good. Obviously this is a bit shit, but I've lost my mom last year, and as horrible as it is to lose Lottie, in comparison to that, I mean, I know that I've done all I can for Lottie, because I basically met her a couple of weeks after she was born, and I was there with her until she died. So I've been there her entire life, 19 years almost. It would have been 19 years next month, and that is a very good age for a cat. I know she was very happy and she was always very comfortable, so that's just all I can do. That's all you can do as a pet owner as well, because as long as you look after them, they love you as much as you love them. And I know a lot of people say that animals don't love you, they don't understand human emotions or whatever, but genuinely, if you've owned a pet or if you've lived with a pet, you know that that's like, the pets know when you're feeling down and stuff like that. So that's how it is. Like, pets, they look after you as much as you look after them. So okay, well, I'm gonna go for a quick break. I'm gonna do something that I'm probably gonna regret, but I'm gonna bring up my second short break, which has all my Lottie videos in, because I want to watch them. And when I get back, we'll go into game number 2. See you guys soon.
I am the Scatman. Para pa pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. Pa pa para pum. Para pi pa pa para pum. I am the Scatman. Scooby dooby dooby pa. Scooby dooby dooby pa. Scooby dooby dooby pa. I am the Scatman.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into our second game here. Starting us off for ReV is going to be Medinho. And watching those videos on the break made me realize just how damn cute Lottie was. Oh my god, she was adorable. I knew that and I told her that all the time, but Jesus Christ. I've only not seen her for like 4 days and it's crazy how weird it is. But either way, Medino, a very, very good Terran player. Also, like Yeti, getting very close to breaking his way into the top 10. If he continues to play in the STPL, I am certain he's going to make it there. The only games he's lost recently were against Bonneth, DeWalt twice, and Terra. Like, they're three of the best players in the foreign scene, so like, Medino is a pretty damn good player, right? And that was Terra before he faced off against him and beat him in BSL as well, so let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be Ziggy. Now Ziggy, a very, very good player. Ziggy, awesome. Looking forward to this game a lot. It's going to be a TVT on Monty Hall, which is going to be crazy. But Ziggy, really, really good as well. And his TVP has definitely been his best matchup. But TVT, he's doing pretty well as well. 2 for 1. It's only 3 games. But let's see how he does as we get into game number 2. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, fighting for ReV. It's the Viking Terran himself. It's Medino. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner, sorry, the bottom right-hand corner, in the yellow, fighting for Net Wars. It's Ziggy. Now I'm just checking if we've got any newer, what are they called? Oh man. Cheerfuls. I don't think we've got any newer cheerfuls that I can use for these players, so I'm going to skip the cheerful thing today. Okay, well this is Monty Hall, so this could go for a very, very good long game. TBT, my favourite matchup in the game, so I've been looking forward to this today. We've got Medino and Ziggy, both players going for gas. Medino actually going for gas first, which makes me think he's going to go for 2-port Wraith. There's not really a huge reason to go for gas first, but obviously it gets you a lot more gas a lot quicker. And there we go. And also, Fear is counting Net Wars out. Zero didn't show up for his game and Hinmu gets the walkover. But really, he's saying that Net Wars aren't going to win these next 2 games. Well, the next... Okay, so it'd have to go... They need to win this game. Or it's going... No, there's 2 more games after this one. One is the walkover. So they need to win this game and next game to win the whole thing. Or we could go to an ace match. So... I wouldn't count Net Wars out just yet. Ryan Matlin chat saying that Ziggy vs Medino is Medino favoured for sure, but Koga is a beast. That is entirely true, but then you also have to take into account that this is a best of 1. It is Monty Hall SE. And whoever prepares the best for the map on the day and prepares the best for their opponent will do the best and they will win. Now, you've got to take into account if they are preparing for their opponents. Medino has a lot more games out in the open. Like, Ziggy watches BSL. He was casting BSL. He knows what Medino's TVT style is like. He has the easiest time figuring out exactly what to do, what to counter, what to play against, because he knows that Medino is a very drop-heavy player. Now, what does Medino know against Ziggy? Nothing. Ziggy's played 3 games of TBT in the STPL. He hasn't really made a big splash in the BSL just yet. And he doesn't well, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't really stream Brood War that much. I don't remember the last time I saw Ziggy actually stream. Like, maybe he does, and it's just at times I'm not watching. But Ziggy has an easier job of knowing what to prepare against when he's playing against Medinho, whereas Medinho has a little bit of a tougher job. Now, I thought it was going to be 2-port Wraith, but it's just a single port, which makes the gas first even more confusing. And Fear, the lineup for the ace is never revealed until we know we have an ace match. I don't even know if there's an ace match or not. It's hidden in a folder in the replay folder that I do not look at, so I can't tell what the results are going to be. Which makes it more exciting for me. Now we've got a starport coming in with dropships for Ziggy, whereas Medinho is going for those Wraiths. Now Wraiths do give you a little bit of an advantage over the dropship play, but it's not the end of the world. If the dropship can avoid the Wraiths, then you are going to get a load of damage done. Now, we already have Goliaths for Ziggy, so this Wraith, or yeah, this Wraith shouldn't really be doing anything. Now, looks like Medinho gonna fly in. Let's have a look. Oh my god, he's actually gonna fly into the Goliath. Okay, the dropship has to come back. He has to drop the Goliaths. And yeah, he needs to repair this dropship almost immediately. Now, the one problem he's got is now Medinho knows there's dropships. He's going to be able to keep his Wraiths in a defensive position. Oh, he's going to move out with the dropship again. Now, he does have... Why didn't he repair the dropship? I do not understand this. Terran players, repair your units. Repairing is literally the best thing Terran have with mech units. No other race can heal their units like Terran can. And people just don't do it. I don't get it. That is the difference, and I'm gonna say this, right? That is the difference, to me personally, between a good foreign Terran player and a top Terran player. Terra and Koga always repair everything. Medinho does as well, but Ziggy isn't. Like, imagine... Right, okay, so... Look at how much health is missing. It's around half the health. That means as soon as these Wraiths fly in, they do 20 damage a shot. It's going to take 2 volleys to kill the dropship rather than 4 volleys. That makes it so much harder to make this work. Just go back and repair the dropship. But looks like he is going to push out on the ground. Now, the good thing for him is he is pushing towards his opponent's base, but we already have a ton of tanks out for Medinho. Siege mode is about to be finished. Meanwhile, I don't believe siege mode is going to be done for Ziggy, but oh, this is clever. Ziggy can come in from another angle. He's faking his way out to a push here, and he's going to go into the main. This is really, really clever, but once again, there's 3 Wraiths now. And he's... Oh, he didn't drop the final Goliath. Okay, there we go. Okay, with siege mode done here, there's not really going to be anything that these tanks can do. Well, at least Ziggy can do to them, but these tanks aren't going to be able to come back and defend. Oh, and this is very nice timing. Looks like the Goliaths coming out, the Wraiths coming back to try and defend against this, but they need to be very careful. Medinho knowing how important it is not to lose those Wraiths. These are his world right now, and he's going to clean this up without really taking much damage at all. And now Medinho is finding himself in a very good position, but looks like Ziggy getting ready to push forward. He believes, at the very least, that Medinho would have moved his units back, but he didn't. He kept 3 tanks there. Very smart by Medinho to stop any further pushing. Now, the army is actually a little bit better here for Ziggy, as you can tell from the supply difference. It means... Oh, sorry, their army's about the same. We do have both players with double command center now. We've finally got that dropship being repaired. Ziggy listened to me and then went back in time and fixed his mistake. +1 attack is not on the way yet. Now, that's actually a big deal, because if you get an early armory and your opponent gets ahead in upgrades, that's actually a really big problem, because Medinho, if he gets to +2 attack first, which at this point, as long as he doesn't miss his upgrades, he will do, Ziggy is not going to be able to push anywhere. Like, the one thing with TVT is 2 attack. If you don't know this, if you're just tuning into Brood War maybe for the first time, Tanks do 70 damage. With upgrades, they do +5, if I remember correctly. And then they do another +5 with +2, which means they two-shot tanks. So rather than taking 3 volleys from siege mode to kill a siege tank, it only takes 2. And it means pushing forward, you can't really push into +2 tanks very easily. You can, it's possible. People do it, especially at the pro level, but it's very risky because if you do not engage perfectly, your army is going to get absolutely decimated unless you've got really high numerical advantage. But we've got the Wraiths flying away from the... Oh my goodness, he's just going to miss these 3 dropships. He would have been able to get a ton of kills here. Looks like neither player going for a 3rd base just yet. We've got 4 factories back here. We've got the Science Slay already, which means +2 already on the way for Medinho. Perfect timing. And +1 is only just starting up here. Now look at this, the drop coming into the main. There's a lot of tanks already in position to defend against this. This is definitely a drop that should pick back up and fly away, because he's just going to lose everything here. And that is not what you want to see as a Terran player. He's unable to target fire the tanks either. All the dropships going to go down, and Medinho is going to start to take a big supply lead. Not too much damage was done there. The worker count lead did continue. And while this is going on, Medinho is taking a 3rd base. And because he's just killed 3 dropships, I don't believe a 4th dropship was ever built. There's no pressure going to be coming onto this base. Now, if he had the 3 dropships, if he drops on this high ground, all of a sudden, this base is dead. I think Ziggy may have been target firing the SCVs. I feel like target firing the tanks would have been better, but he still would have lost everything anyway, so it's not the biggest of deals. This is Monty Hall and it's very hard to push, but look at Medinho. Look how powerful he feels in this game. He is expanding right next to his opponent. This is essentially, like, you can zoom out and you'll see just how close this is. That base is a stone's throw away from the tanks of his, or from the tanks of Ziggy. Now, he's not sending any tanks to defend this. This is a very risky base. I mean, Ziggy, if he just scan, like, if Ziggy scans this base, Medinho's gonna lose it. Like, if Ziggy just went out right now, he could kill both of those bases, but now he's in trouble. Because Medinho is coming forward. Now, the one thing to note about this map as well, all of these bases, these ones on the side, have 2,000 gas. The islands at the top right and bottom left have 5,000. Now, Medinho is going to be... Oh my god, he's pressuring the gas. This is actually a really big deal. If Ziggy loses this gas, he's down to 1 gas. And you want to know how many tanks you can build on 1 gas? Not many. Not many at all. And the Wraiths mean he has vision over this constantly. SCVs are going to have to be pulled here because he's going to have to try and clear this. He's going to have to pull everything and try and break through. Now the SCVs clumping up a lot, but still getting in a good position. Tanks starting to siege up at the back. Not too many are sieging though. The Wraiths are clearing up. Well, oh, they're not going to be able to clean up everything. Looks like Ziggy is doing a very good job clearing this. He did take a lot of SCV damage, but he's going to be able to secure his gas. And guess what? He's going to be able to push the 4th and 3rd bases. Now, the supply advantage by Ziggy, or by Medinho, is very high. The Goliaths are clearing all of the Wraiths, though. And look at this. This base is going to die. Well, at least it's going to be lifted. That's the main thing. And as someone points out in chat, no Goliath range is done just yet for Ziggy, so Ziggy needs to be careful. Looks like Medinho has got some more tanks back here to help defend against this. So it means Ziggy is isn't going to be able to push any farther forward, but he is going to be able to take this base. The gas was taken though. 1984, George Orwell. Big Brother is watching over this base right now. And Ziggy is going to take the gas immediately because he wants it. He is going to continue pushing forward, and there's actually not that many units here by Medinho to help defend this. Looks like Medinho wants to go and mine out his opponent's entrance to his main. But guess what? Once again, Medinho, I mean, he's got 3 tanks back here. What are they doing? They need to be defending these bases. Ziggy's going to... Oh, Medinho's going to lose his 3rd base. Ziggy is doing a really good job in this position. Medinho definitely not playing to his strength, not going for his dropships. And he's just not been taking the right positions on the map. This is a very strange situation. But all of a sudden... Okay, so Medinho is taking the top right-hand island. But he's only on 2 gases. Medinho vastly played way too overconfidently, and despite having the upgrade advantage, Ziggy has a numerical advantage here. Obviously the SCV count is in favor of Medinho, but Ziggy's army is really strong. Now Medinho is going to continue to come forward here. The +2, the lack of +2 attack, should I say, really hurting here. If that was +2, that would have done so much more. So Medinho is going to be able to secure his 3rd base once again. But Ziggy, he's on 4 bases now. Sorry, he's on 3 still, because he didn't actually take this base. This isn't bugged, right? No, because their minerals aren't constantly going up. He's just distance mining the gas. They are still building buildings, so I don't think it's broken. Now, the funny thing is, Ziggy doesn't know he's being pushed through the side. Now, we actually saw this happen with Koga versus Radley. No, sorry, it was Terra versus Radley, where Radley had an incredible position over Terra, and he nearly won the game. And then all of a sudden, Terra just walked into his base. It was not good. Poor Radley, he was in such a bad position after that, and he couldn't recover. But, I mean, we do have Medinho with this top right-hand base. As I did say, there is a lot more gas here than anywhere else on the map. The naturals even are only 3,000 gas, so we do have 1 base, 2 base, +3 attack though, about to finish up. We've finally got the raids, the dropships, the Viking longboats coming in for the Viking Terran, and this means he's going to be able to reinforce this top right hand corner, and he can actually drop here as well and do exactly what I said Ziggy should have done. And Ziggy's not defending against this just yet. Now, unfortunately, this isn't Radley, so we do not have a nuclear silo or anything like that coming up. Well, a covert ops, but Physics Lab, I think, could be on the table a little bit later on. Here we go, just 2 tanks. Look at how strong this is. He's going to siege up in a position. Now, if he targets down these SCVs, he is going to be in good company here. Now, are there any dropships coming in from Ziggy? I don't think he ever rebuilt them. Yeah, he's got no dropships. He is going to have to... He's going to have to push from the low ground. He's going to have to scan. This is not something you want to be doing as Ziggy right now. I mean, Medinho is up an incredible amount of supply. And it's just getting worse and worse. But Ziggy, he needs to hold on. He needs to hold this position. And Medinho doesn't really have the option of attacking. So... looks like we've got Medinho expanding to the bottom left. We've got this open, so vultures can actually run down here. Ziggy does find this out. He's actually starting to mine this out himself as well. Now, we're not going to have a Physics Lab or Covert Ops here. And this is going to be the big problem. This could be the icing on the cake here, because Ziggy, he's rallying all of his units up to his 3rd base, because he is going to go for a big push. Now, he's pushing into +3-1. And he's only on +1 attack. +2 attack has only just been started as well, so this is not going to go well. Ziggy needs to pull back his units. Oh no, oh, here we go, he sees it. The dropships though coming into the natural as well. And this could be a little bit too much. Ziggy's going all in. He's pulling everything. He's going for the kill. But the trouble is, even if he kills the main, even if he kills the other bases, he's got no way of getting to this island base. So if this does come down to a base trade, Medinho should be in a better position, but he has to push through these factories. They are rebuilding tanks. And this is definitely a weird situation to be in. We've got the tank sieging up outside the natural. And is this going to be enough? The lack of +2 attack is so key here. Looks like Ziggy getting ready to try and defend his factories. He's doing an okay job, but the starport goes down. No dropships are going to be available anytime soon. No wraiths as well. Now this natural has gone down. The third base has gone down as well. But there's the bases on the right hand side, and look at this. Medino even expanding down here as well. He knows he's got the money. He knows he's got the positioning. He is playing this as you should play TVT. The second you have the smallest siege tank line ever, this is what Flash used to do. He'd have one tank at a base and he'd just build a CC there because you know what? It's defended, right? Yeah, looks like Medino may be starting to run away with this game just a little bit. Is there a factory up here? No. One of the good things you can do on this map is build a factory on the high ground and just build tanks up there. Makes it a base that you cannot kill. Mines coming in. Not going to do too much, but guess what? Ziggy can now go on the counter-offensive on the bottom right-hand side. Ziggy getting ready to re-expand to his other natural. He is down to just one base economy. Oh no, Ziggy, don't go through the middle. Go through the left-hand side. If you go through the left-hand side, you can kill two bases. But unfortunately, with lifting his main command center, he's going to be low on scans. He's got... Oh no, he's actually got quite a few, but he's not using them. Now, Ziggy can win, but not like this. Ziggy needs to go to the left-hand side of the map. And look at this, Medino getting ready to come in for a big drop. This is going to go on top of this base. And in going for this aggression, Ziggy has trapped all his units in the middle of the map. And there's no units to defend this third. This is going to be checkmate. It looks like Medino had been planning this for a while, but Ziggy going to be unable to mine. The base going down is going to be a problem. Looks like he is going to evacuate the SCVs. Just lift the base. It's dead. You may as well move on. And in TBT, Lolek Brit Volker, you can win with less army. Because essentially, tanks are so strong that if someone messes up pushing forward, you just kill all their units. Okay, so it looks like we are going to have both players getting ready to go on one screen. 2 times you can win. You can win with less than that. All it takes is better positioning. Drops obviously help out, but look at this. Ziggy's going to push through. He's going to clear up the tanks in the middle. And now he's going to be able to push down to the top or the bottom right. But dropships coming into the main again. All of these SCVs trying to take the gas. But yeah, Fear makes an excellent point. Ziggy has been making a big... Oh, covert ops. Where is the ghost? Oh no, what? Oh, there's a ghost in the main, isn't there? Oh, damn. Okay, well, here we go. Nuclear launch detected. I didn't see that ghost. Oh, no! You can't leave the game like this? Okay, well, there we go. Game over. I like how Medino stayed in the game to watch the nuke go off. That's really funny. That was definitely a get out the game nuke. A little bit unfortunate. Ziggy was doing a really good job. But genuinely, Medino just outclassed him at the end. Ziggy made a huge mistake not scanning. That was his major issue. Like, if we were to look back at that game, like, Ziggy was doing well. His army was a lot smaller, but his positioning was good. And then at one point, after he cleared up all the units in his main, he went to push directly through the middle. That is the closest... Sorry, that is the closest base to you. It is closer to go that way. But he didn't scan to see if the minerals were there. So, because he didn't scan to see if the minerals were there, he couldn't push through. And all of a sudden, his units were nowhere near in a position to defend any of his bases. He couldn't push the left-hand side, which where all the bases were, which he didn't scout. And Ziggy did a fantastic job that game, but unfortunately, Medino did it all. My hair has been this short for like a week and a half. I bought hair clippers and just clipped it. It's not even clipped very well, if I'm honest, but it was just getting so hot. It was just getting so annoying. Like, I must admit, one of the reasons why I wanted to do it really badly was my hair was up to the point where it was like down here if I brushed it forward, and it meant wearing my VR headset was really, really uncomfortable because my fringe was just always in the way. But either way, let's go into a quick break, and when we get back with game number 3, we'll have a PBT between Koga and... who was it? It was Koga and Sugo. See you guys soon. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 3 of ReV versus NetWars. This should be a fun series, or I mean a fun game, I think. Sugo, definitely one of the best Protoss players in North America. Hasn't done as well in the STPL as Koga, of course, but still has done very respectively throughout his time on ReV and obviously his time on NAS in the previous season, or seasons, should I say. Against Terran, he's 3 for 4, which is pretty good. Now, against most Terrans in the foreign Brood War scene, I would say that Koga has quite a big advantage, or at least a good advantage. But the problem is, in this game, he's up against not only the number 3 ranked Terran in the STPL, but arguably, well, without a doubt, the best Terran in Europe. Like, you have him and Koga. Koga is definitely the best Terran in the Americas, and then Koga is easily the best Terran in Europe. Koga, one of the best non-Korean Terrans, really, really good. Polish powerhouse. He's also the father of 2, as well as doing so well in Brood War, so... I mean, he did lose against Asakwe. He lost. That was his most recent TVP loss. He's actually on a 2... oh no, sorry, he's on a 1 losing streak. The only real games he's lost recently have been Bonus and Asakwe. In his last 10 games, he's won 8 of them. He's got an 82% win rate overall. Like, you don't get better than that. The map we're going to be heading onto is Andromeda, which is definitely... I can't think off the top of my head. As a matter of fact, I want to check this. Let's go back and look. Oh, okay, I messed that up, but... okay, we're just going to go back to this, because what I want to see... Oh, this is actually probably broken, right? No, it's not. What I want to see, has Sugo actually played on any map that... Yeah, so all Sugo's played in the STPL is Lamantra and Andromeda, the 2 most standard maps, man. Sugo is standard maps, man. If you need a player to play on a standard map, Sugo is your guy. Now, let's see how this is going to go. Is Sugo going to be able to topple Koga and take the win for ReV, or is Koga going to keep the dream alive for NetWars in the series, and are we going to go to the ace match? Let's see how we go as we get into game number 3. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand corner in the red, fighting for ReV, it's Sugo. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner in the pink, fighting for Net Wars, trying to keep them alive in the series, trying to steal back position 2 in the STPL rankings. It's the Polish powerhouse himself. It's Koga. And if you've just tuned in, basically the series is currently 2-1 in favor of ReV because he and Mu got a walkover win over Zero because Zero didn't show up. So if Koga cannot win here, they are going to be losing this series. Now, Sugo is a very standard player, a very natural player. He's going to likely play for a macro game. And I would say, if anything, that's where Koga can really excel in TVP. He's got very aggressive TVP, which is why I like watching him so much. And against someone who plays super greedy, aggression can be incredibly strong. Now, Sugo is most likely going to go for probably a 23, maybe a 28 next into a ReV, I would say. I don't think we're going to see Sugo go DTs. He could prove me wrong entirely, but I genuinely can't think of the last time I saw Sugo go DTs against Terran. At least in STPL. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I mean, one thing you guys are going to give me a break for is there has been a lot of STPL games. And I've casted every single one that's ever been played. And for the last season and a half, I've pretty much been casting alone. And that's a lot of games to try and remember. I do my best. I've got my database that kind of tells me who's won and lost, which is why I made it. But yeah, it's difficult, guys. It's difficult to remember everything. Now, the one thing I'd like to point out, Koga is 2-0 on this map. Sugo is 2-1. So both these players have won 2 of their games here. Koga, he's still going to get a loss. He's still looking for a loss, or well, he's not looking for a loss, but Fate is looking to give him a loss on this map. Now, whether or not Fate is going to win out here, I'm not too sure. It takes a lot of work to take down the Polish powerhouse. Some say that he has more power because he channels the entire energy of Poland into him when he plays the game. But whenever you watch him on stream, he's just so unbelievably confident. He doesn't... I don't feel like he's outwardly confident as such, but when you watch him play, it oozes personality. Like, when you watch Koga, you can tell it's him. Like, Koga's got a very distinctive... he's got a very distinctive style. And he's also got a very distinctive aura about his play. It's really, really fun to watch. Now, Sugo as well. I mean, we don't see as much of Sugo as Koga, because, like, Sugo is a little bit less active, I would say, than Koga is. At least in, like, major tournaments. But Sugo is a really strong player as well. Like, he's definitely one of the best players in America. I think if thinking about it, in terms of USA, I think that Sugo is definitely the best Protoss player. I'd say it's probably between him and G5 now. I mean, there's not too many American Protoss players anymore that are super active. But, like, G5 is still really good, but Sugo is really, really strong. Like, you obviously have players like Kingdom as well. I don't think Kingdom plays as actively, though. Oh, there's Models as well, but... Wait, Is Models... I thought... I could have sworn Models was Canadian. No, he visited Canada, my bad. Yeah, he's American. It's probably Models. Oh, Models is Canadian. Okay, yeah. So when I'm talking about America, I mean the United States. I don't really think you can say Tasteless is the best North American Protoss player, given the fact he doesn't play any tournaments. He only plays ladder. Like, I don't know how good he is on ladder. I really don't get to watch his stream very often, but if you don't play tournaments, then you can't be considered one of the best. Like, playing on ladder is not the same as playing on... Oh, there we go, DTs. I was wrong. Oh no, he's attacked... Wait. Okay, well, honestly, he probably should have gone into the main base, but there's no... Oh my god, there's no detection. This is the second time Koga in 2 games has come across DTs, and he's losing to them because he got no detection. Like, I'm sure Tasteless is a good player, but yeah, ladder is a lot harder these days. It looks like Koga not doing too much damage in the main base. Oh my god, did he lose that command center? No, he cancelled it. Okay, whew, phew. Yeah, the Vulture's not doing too much damage. Sugo with 29 workers. There was a good Nexus, and I was kind of too... Oh my god, he's actually blocking the... He's blocking the Vultures getting back into the base. That is so clever. Now, oh my god, he's gonna get the machine shop. Oh, this is gonna be so tough. Oh, he wasn't attacking the machine shop anymore. I thought he was. Oh no, the mines! Okay. Oh my god, is he gonna kill the factory? No way he kills the factory, right? No way. Repair. Oh my goodness, he moves away from the mine. Oh my god, this is so close. He's not repairing the factory. Oh my god. Okay, he's repairing it. He's repairing it. But is this enough? Oh, yes, it is. That was so close. Oh my goodness. Here comes another dropship, though. I think the DT would have seen that. But if Koga can do a ton of damage here, he's going to be in a good spot. But this is a lot of Dragoons back at home defending. Can he get some lucky mine drags? Can he get the god of all mine drags? Looks like he's not going to go for no, he's not going to go for it. Sugo definitely with a big advantage now. Speed kicking in on the Vultures. Koga is very far behind from where he wants to be. Like, basically, Sugo lost basically nothing. He lost 2 DTs. Didn't kill too much with them, but he also didn't take a load of damage from the drop. Now, when you go for a drop in TVP, you actually put yourself behind where a normal build would put you, because look at this. Koga has no armory. He's got no upgrades coming. And the later the game goes on, the more important upgrades get. Terran upgrades scale a lot better than Protoss ones. And if you don't have those upgrades, you're going to lose the late game. You need 3-2. You need 2-1. You can't hit any timings without any upgrades. Admittedly, there are some timings you can do without upgrades, but they are very early game. But look at this. Koga continuing up with the pressure. He's going to go into the high ground over the natural. There is a cannon here, but it's not in a good position. There's no shuttle, I don't believe. Yeah, looks like he skipped shuttle. And this means this tank on the high ground should be able to take down these cannons, which means he can drop in. Oh, he's dropped the Vultures in the main. 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. Oh, it looks like he's not going to waste his Vultures. That tank killing the 2 cannons, pretty damn good. We've got an army pushing forward, but is defended with the bunkers and the tanks. And this is so annoying for Sugo. This is why it's so important to get shuttles. Shuttles are so good, man. Koga slowly starting to clear the gap with the worker advantage, or with the worker deficit, so he's doing pretty good there. Oh, the tank. Oh my goodness, if that tank had vision over this, and it was in range, that would have been devastating. I can't help but wonder if this probe down here is going to be for a hidden base. Now we've got another dropship coming in here. This time it's going to be 2 vultures and a tank. He's going to lay the mines at the top of the ramp, making it very difficult to come back and help defend against this. And oh, he's actually going to drop in the sweet spot above here, above the minerals. He's going to put some more mines down. Going to get a couple of shots off on some probes, not the biggest deal. Oh my goodness, hot pickup. Hot pickup or what? Nice. And there we have it, a hidden base coming in from Sugo. I said Sugo plays super standard. And I guess for a lot of Terran players, this is what they believe standard is for Protoss. Like, DTs into hidden bases. Most Terrans on ladder would be like, whoa, this is just standard. I don't know what you're saying. This isn't cheese, this is standard for us. Oh, Vulture's getting around past the army. This is going to make it very difficult for them to retreat. We've got a scan coming in. Just checking for a third base. Vulture's heading on over looking for them as well. And Sugo going to try and push his way forward here, but this is definitely going to be ill-fated. You don't want to push into this. Like, this is a how to throw away your units as a Protoss player, but the tanks are unsieged. This is actually doing a little bit better than I thought it would do. The Vulture's in a position to lay some mines, not helping out with this at all. Now the tanks at the back are starting to siege up, but there's only 2 of them. They're not very high on money. Sorry, high on numbers. Oh, but look at this. Kogut repairing the tank. I told you. I did see him drop the zealots, but I just didn't say anything. Yeah, there's a third tank on the high ground now, so he's going to pull back. Oh no, this could be bad. He's ahead of his observer. These mines could be very strong. Even with a drop though, Goblikiat, it's very, very risky to push in there. Like it really, oh my god, the probe's getting scouted in the middle of the map. Kogut, the king. Ziggy didn't scout against Medinho, but Kogut is scouting for the both of them this game. Wow. Obviously the mine saw them, which is why he went there, but basically that's really good. That is a really major advantage for Kogut. Kogut was in a good position before, but now he's got the advantage, not only in scouting information, but he's got a tank down here as well. And Sugo is getting punished for this hidden base. But the trouble is, the Vulture's away from home. Is this the time that Sugo can come in and do critical damage again? Yeah, the mines have been cleaned up, so... they've been cleaned up properly. He didn't take any damage. Oh my god, he lost goons. My bad, guys. I'm not having the best week, so... and we finally have the Arbiter coming out here. That obviously those mines were very good, doing all the damage to the Dragoons that I missed. But we've got Sugo going for a sort of backup third base here at the mineral only. This means Kogut's ahead in bases. He's ahead in pretty much every facet of the game at the moment. He's not ahead in upgrades. His upgrades, as I mentioned, are going to be slower. We've got EMP coming in, +1 armor, and +2 attack as well. And I think this is pretty much going to be it. Like, it's gonna... If Sugo can get in right now before all of the Vultures come back home... Oh man, Sugo, you can't be running around like this without an observer. There was another drop up here. I don't know if this is a drop or if he just ran in. I think he may have just run in this case. The dropship is up here, but... And here we go. Looks like Koga was waiting for 2-1 to finish. I mean, this is actually a little bit of an anti-timing. Plus 2-1 is not done. You don't want to push before your upgrades are done. Now, did we have stasis first or recall first? That is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Looks like Koga isn't going to throw the game away by trying to 1A, 2A, 3A. He's just going to play it carefully. He's respecting his opponent. Vessel coming on out here, looking for an EMP, but can't quite find one. And Koga's just kind of securing his position in the middle of the map. Like, Koga doesn't need to worry about too much. He's got his Vessel over here defending against recall. Oh, there goes the scan. EMP! There we go, all the shields, all the energy. And he's got enough for another EMP as well. At least he's getting close to it anyway. That's a radiant energy at the moment. But yeah, it's gonna take a miracle here from Sugo to win this game. He's still in it. It's not over. Koga has not won just yet. His upgrades were late. Sugo has actually done a pretty good job upgrading as well. And Sugo has a chance to come back in the game, but he has to play it perfectly. Koga can afford to make mistakes, whereas Sugo can't. Now we've actually got Sugo expanding towards his opponent here. Another drop coming into the main base. This one with just 4 vultures. He's not going to drop any tanks this time. But there's not really many units back at home to defend this, although this is a really weird place to drop given the main's mined out, but I guess it's just all about doing as much damage as you can. But Sugo expanding towards the opponent basically says I'm going to win this engagement. Let's see how this goes. We've got a lot of zealots running in. There's a lot of mines at the back here, but I think this is just too much for Koga. Look at how deep this tank line is. You're not breaking this to Sugo. I don't even... He may have killed like 3 or 4 tanks. There we go. GG. Sugo taps out. Koga with a 72 supply advantage takes us in to the ace match, which we'll go into when we get back after this short break. See you guys soon. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL DAS. Bio TVP? Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL DAS. STPL DAS. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralisks to defend. Yes. STPL, STPL. Fantastic production, fantastic casters, fantastic prize pool, only in STPL.
I'm about to overload my
Okay, welcome to the STPL Season 10, or sorry, Season 3, Week 10 Outlaws versus ReV Ace match. I was muted for the start of the game, so I'm repeating myself, but starting us off in the top right hand corner in the blue from Latvia, it's the RVT. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the red, fighting for Net Wars. It is of course the one, the only, it's Koga. Okay, so Koga going for a gas opening here, not going to wall in or anything like that. It's quite difficult to wall in on this map, but I think if I remember rightly, you can wall in this position if you go... Yeah, I think if you go barracks here, depot, I think that's a wall. But Koga just going to play this how he likes to play. He's definitely confident in defending against Zealots, whereas I am definitely not. Now, we've already seen Koga take down one of the heavy-hitting Protoss players from ReV in the previous game. Is CRVT going to be able to do what Sugo couldn't and win the game? Because if ReV win here, they're going to hurt Net Wars' chance of getting a second place seed, which will put them into the semi-final. Koga is going to want to win this game. Like, Net Wars need this. They want the early... Well, they want the easy seed. Like, no one wants to play in the early rounds of the playoffs. You want to get that guaranteed top 4. Okay, so Koga going around, scouting around, looking like he is going to find his opponent. Now, this is a bit of a weirder map if you've never seen it before. This is a map called Fancy 2. The idea of this map is basically it is a 4-player map with 4 different spawning locations from 4 different maps. Top right, which is where we see CRVT from. You may recognize it from Ladder. It's Nostalgia. Bottom right is Ride of the Valkyries, which was in fact a 2-player map as well, which makes it even weirder to see it here in this 4-player map. Now, Koga is opening this. I'm not really sure what his plan is. This is really strange. It's like he's... Oh my god, is he just going all in? Yeah, he's going all in. Well, he's not going all in, he's going for an aggressive push here because he knows there's... Oh my god, that's why he mined it out so he could run there faster. And I said fantasy. There we go, so he's going to push in. He's going to bunker rush the Nexus. How is CRVT going to be able to hold on to this? Koga is so damn confident. It's so hard to make this work. But you know what? Here we go. We're going to hide the work account here for a second. Looks like the probes have come out just in time. If he can keep the Marines from getting in the bunker, he's going to hold. If the Marines get in the bunker, it's essentially a dead Nexus. But if he can kill them, if he can hold on to this base, he is going to be in a good spot. He's even going to be able to take down this... Oh, the Marines get in the bunker. That is certainly not what you want to have happen. This means you can't really attack the bunker until your... well, at least until your range is done, which is a while. It does take a long time for 2 Marines to kill a Nexus, but 3 Marines... It's a little bit more. And if this 4th Marine gets in here, that is when things become a problem. Now, range is almost done. Range is basically the kill switch on this. There's not going to be enough... Wait, can you shield battery a Nexus? You can't shield battery a building, right?
Thanks for being so dedicated.
Oh, thank you for the £10 donation, or the $10 donation pack, right? But here we go. Looks like he's going to push forward. Shield battery going to be used. Is it going to be used? What's he using it on? He's trying to focus down the SCVs, but he's taking so much damage to do this. The shield battery is coming into use now, but... I mean, he's killed enough SCVs that he should be able to kill this, but where is range? Why is he not attacking the bunker? He's got so many... You could kill the bunker. You could save the Nexus. This is so unbelievably close. The Nexus is going to fall. There we go. The Nexus falls. He could have held on to that. That was a massive blunder by CRVT. But now we have to look at this realistically. We've got 3 vultures. We've got oh no. Oh, the mines are going to make this so much harder to push forward. You cannot go for a counterattack against mines unless you're Bisu. If you're Bisu, you don't care about this mine. You just kill it. You start step micro, you'll kill everything, right? And all of a sudden, you're pushing against a single tank and 4 marines, or 5 marines. Like, you're not going to be worried if you're Bisu, but unfortunately, CRVT is not Bisu. No other player in the world is Bisu, and no other player can really do that. I mean, some players are close, but no one can micro like Bisu, but CRVT gonna take his expansion again. Now, to do this, let's not forget to do this, CRVT didn't lose that many probes. And Kogat's expansion is very late. He also lost quite a few SCVs himself, so the game is kind of even. Yes, CRVT lost 400 minerals in the Nexus, but that's not the end of the world. He lost like 2 Dragoons, I think. CRVT is still doing fine. This is definitely not a position which is unwinnable. Koga once again going for the starport, delaying his armory again. Definitely this seems to be his signature style. Although, okay, yeah, we are going to have a dropship. So, Koga getting ready to push up. Now, the one good thing is he's going to be able to secure this 3rd base incredibly easily. Oh, he's going to push through the high ground. Oh, this is such a dirty position to push. It's so hard for Protoss to deal with this. Oh, man. Do we have siege mode finished? I believe we must do at this stage in the game. CRVT has no way of telling this is coming. You can see a turret, or you can see a bunker being built. Oh, this is going to be so hard for him to hold on to. But looks like all of the Dragoons going. He knows. Oh, the mine! The mine doing so much damage to those Dragoons. And all of a sudden, that went from a position he could break to this. Oh, man. The spawn's definitely working in favor of Koga here a little bit, but I mean, the way the game has gone so far, I mean, this is Koga's position to lose for sure. But you can't really kill too much from here. You can attack maybe 2 or 3 of the mineral patches. That's not a big deal. Like, if he just counters, he can actually break the natural most likely. There's not going to be much at home. Honestly, he should forgo these mineral patches, and he should just go and push.
LUL kappa kappa pogchamp 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 pogchamp.
Oh my god, Fuji, Fuji man,
STPL does.
What are you doing?
Pogchamp pogchamp.
Why do you keep doing it? Thank you for the sub, man, but man, it just does not stop. I hate those text-to-speech things, oh my goodness. But yeah, here we go. Looks like he is going to be able to break this. He did lose a shuttle to do it, but he's going to be able to break out, which is the important thing. He is going to kill one of them. Oh! There we go. He loses the Dragoon. But he is going to be able to get the hidden base off. Now, Sugo tried to go for a hidden base. But that is the best possible situation, the best possible outcome for CRVT. He cleaned up the base. He didn't lose too many probes. He's got his 3rd base that I don't think has been scouted. Yeah, but thank you so much, Fuji, for the 18-month resub. If you don't know who he is, he's the owner, manager, proprietor of Soul Gaming, the top team in the STPL currently. So, there we go. +1 attack around about 1/3 of the way done. We've got the dropship coming in here from Koga. There's also a Wraith to help defend against any possible shuttles, which he did manage to kill one of. We've got a Citadel coming up. We're going to have a Templar Archives behind this, and we're going to see some wonderful Arbiter play most likely. Now, this dropship actually has free reign over the 3rd base right now, but still. Now this dropship coming into the main base. The tank is going to go on the high ground. The pylon is going to spot this. There is a cannon which will defend this part. But he is going to be able to get a few probes here. If he targets this group here, he would get a ton of damage. Oh, the mines. Oh no, the mines! Oh no! Oh man, mines are so strong when Protoss players just wander into them randomly. Why do Protoss players do that, man? It feels like when there's mines on the field, Protoss players just lose their mind and forget to just like actually think. They're just like, oh, my army is unbeatable, I'm just gonna run into 2 tanks. Or 1 tank, it's not like there's 4 mines on my base that's gonna kill all my dragoons, you know? Now Koga is actually gonna scout this base with a vulture. Is he? He's not seen it yet. Oh, he's gonna see it now, okay. Now we've got Koga going for a 3rd base, but the one thing about this map is all the natural thirds have no gas. It's a mineral only from Koga here, and he's actually on the low ground, so a better place to defend is actually up here, but it's a lot closer to your opponent. Now here we go, looks like we're gonna have some zealots running into mines again, because why not? Why not take... Why not just take an observer first, you know? Let's just lose all our Arabs or lose all our stuff, you know? Now, here we go, we're gonna see... Now, CRBT could push the natural, but he's pushing the wrong place. Oh, and the mines, the mines, the mines! This could be a big mine drag! Oh my goodness, that was actually pretty good. And it looks like he's gonna be able to break this position. He's gonna be... He has to target the tanks, and he's not. Oh, the... Damn, the mines. There we go. He doesn't clear the base. He's now down in supply, but not by much, and that's actually mostly in workers, because Koga has 66 workers on 112 supply. But we've got a 3rd base, we've got a 3rd gas, which is possible here for CRVT, and he needs to take it. He's only working on 1 gas right now. I've only just realized that. He never got his 2nd gas. Oh, and another mine.
STPL does 333,333.
Thank you, Shad, for the 400-bit cheer. I don't know why that was 333,333, but I guess it's because of the less than symbols. I'm gonna have to do something about text-to-speech, man. Text-to-speech is so, like, I'm very, very grateful for the bits, but text-to-speech really annoys me. Oh my goodness. And the tanks on the high ground, there's no defense here whatsoever by CRVT. The vultures, the mines, delaying enough. All the oh man. Cannon 1 hit away. Koga still ahead in supply once again. This is entirely... Oh my god, look at Koga. Look at him. Oh my god, there's going to be so many dead probes. What are all of CRVT's units doing? Oh no, 7 kills. I can't click 11 kills. 18 kills by Koga. Oh, there we go. The tanks go down. Oh, I think Koga's walled himself in. I think somehow vultures can't fit through there. That's kind of funny. Now here we go. +1 attack is done. +2 is almost finished. And once again, we're seeing Koga in a pretty similar position to his game against Sugo. He just looks so strong in this matchup. Really. Like, he looks so powerful. It's crazy. His dropship harassment is really good. His mine positioning is really good. And I'm going to be completely honest here, and this may sound harsh, but Protoss players need to get better at using observers. Like, you can't keep running into mines and then complain against Terran, or complain about Terran. Mines are powerful, yes. You have observers, you have units that can range down the mines, use them. Like, we've got an observer here that's doing absolutely nothing. We've got an observer looking for the dropship over here, which hasn't really seen anything too far. But yeah, like, honestly, Protoss players who complain about mines, man, I can't stand it. Right? I just can't. I can't. Right? Zerg, I can kind of see it because of, like, they don't really send overlords everywhere normally. But you can't complain about mines if you're just gonna run around without an observer. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Protoss players. You can't. Like, look at this. You run into another mine. You got away with that one, though. Now, the problem is, CRVT is finding himself just being pulled completely apart by the dropship as well. And he keeps moving the dropship past this observer. Okay, observers are brittle, observers are brittle, but there's no units that shoot up at all from Koga, at least not in the middle of the map. There's 3 Goliaths and and a single vessel. For the longest time, he could have had observers with his army. And Terran players don't necessarily win everything, man. Only Flash wins everything, to be fair. Okay, there we go. The observer goes down, but that was kind of asking for it. Okay, it looks like we are... Oh no, this is not going to be a good engagement. And look at this, he nearly ran into a load of mines again. I mean, Lucky Noob saying that Flash lost to Scan with Protoss. Scan is a very good Terran player, and Flash is an off-race Protoss. Like, that's not comparable. Like, Flash has also beaten better Terrans with his Protoss as well, right? I think Flash's Zerg is better than his Protoss, from what I understand. I mean, Flash is very good mechanically, so I think that suits Zerg more. Scan is just really good, though. Congrats to Scan. Oh, the mines. The mines are just painful. The mines have won Kogut this game. The drops as well have done a ton of damage, but the amount of damage that CRVT has taken... And I mean, look how many tanks he's got. It's going to be near impossible for Kogut to lose this game. Like, where is the tech units? It's just Gateway Man. But there's no High Templar either. There's no Storm. The lack of tech because of the lack of gas... Like, he never took his gas in his natural. CRVT is going to be kicking himself after this game, I promise you. Like, CRVT knows he messed up. Like, he's probably been sitting there with no gas. He never took a second gas. He has been playing on 1 gas this entire game. He forgot all of his gases. That's so unfortunate. But there we go, GG. Kogut takes the win. And he is going to grab 2nd place for Net Wars here. Yeah, honestly, that comes down to the fact CRVT had no gas. He was probably thinking, why can't I afford tech units? Why can't I afford it? And it's because I think he got... Like, okay, let's be completely honest. He didn't forget his gas because he's bad. Right? He forgot his gas because Kogut was constantly attacking him everywhere. Like, that is so hard to deal with. Kogut is relentless with his aggression. And that's why his mines are so good as well, because essentially, even though I was berating CRVT for not using his observers properly, like, if you think about it, when you have to deal with so much stuff happening at one time, it's so hard, and CRVT knew he had to go against one of the best foreign Terran players. That's a huge psychological blow already, and CRVT did a great job that game to be able to survive that early aggression, or the early aggression, and he did an okay job with the drops, but as the game went on, Kogut's mechanics, his ability to multitask, kind of took over, and that's when you start to see the skill level difference in Brood War. Because essentially you get to a position where one player just starts to show their strength more and more and more, and the other player just can't catch up, and Kogut really deserved that win. He played that incredibly. Now, that's going to take us to the results. Now, I was planning on doing the... let's do the results first, and then we'll go into it, but... Yeti winning game number 1 over CRVT in a really, really cool PvP. Medinho taking down Ziggy on Monty Hall SE. Koga taking down Sugo in game number 3. Hyunwoo getting the walkover win over Zero on Tripod. And then Koga coming out again, winning his second game today, going 2 for 1, or going 2 for 0 in this series. And over CRVT. And Fia pointing out that Koga was repairing almost instantly as well. Koga is really good, guys. Koga and Terra, they both repair everything. I love it. I love to see it. Hey, Bob. Okay, so basically this cast was quite long for me. It was around 2 hours. My voice is a little bit tired. I'm a little bit tired as well. So what we're going to do is tomorrow, we don't usually have STPL on Thursday, but there's not really any other tournaments going on right now, so it doesn't matter. I will be back at 8 p.m. Oh, 9 p.m. CEST to cast Red versus DM to round out week 10. And then obviously we've got week 11. There's 4 series, I think, was played this week. Let me double check. So they were all played on Sunday. Obviously we're waiting for week 11 to finish so we can do the playoffs. Yeah, so there was only 4 series this week. So on Friday and on Sunday, we will do the week 11. So tomorrow we'll finish week 10, and then on Friday we'll start week 11, and on Sunday we'll finish it, because there's no other tournaments going on right now. Standings I will show tomorrow, just because, actually I want to double check. Does this work now? Have I fixed it? Let's have a look. I can show the standings, but we've got one more game from week 10, so let's just have a look, see if this actually works, because if it does, problem solved. I think it should do. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So, let's have a look here. Team rankings. Here we go. So, Seoul in first. They are unbeatable. No one can get better than them now. So, they will be seeded into the finals in the playoff. Net Wars, Valhalla Team, IRK, and Eternal Friends incredibly close to each other. Anything could happen with their seeding. Net Wars, if they win in week... So if Net Wars and Valhalla both win in week 11, it's going to be very tight for that semi-final seed. So, and obviously IRK still have a chance as well, but that requires Net Wars to lose, and IRK have to win their final game. But if IRK can win their final game and Net Wars lose, and Net Wars, yeah, so as long as IRK don't lose their next series, they still have a chance of getting second. Week 11 is going to be very tight, basically. So it's very, very, very close. ReV, incredibly close as well. Obviously, that loss is going to hurt them a lot, especially if Red can win, because if Red can win against DM, Red are going to take 6th place, but then obviously there's the week 11 games as well, so... And basically... Let's see how they do on week 11, but let's see how Red do tomorrow against DM. DM cannot qualify, but this could be their chance to upset the playoffs. Looks like the top 6 teams are kind of cemented, but tomorrow will decide how cemented they are. Can Clan Revolution be under contention, or are we just going to have the top 6 teams playing for seeding in week 11? Let's find out when we get back tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a very good evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.